Hi guys, this is my entry into Geek Legion of Doom's 10,000 subscriber contest. I've just had to video that 3 times. Made a mistake every time. I accidentally deleted my original reply to this, so I'm having to record it again because I'm a numpty. So Geek Legion of Doom has put out a competition. It's a 10,000 subscriber competition. I will add he is actually at almost 13,000, but there's a special reason he wanted to go out for 10,000. I'll let you watch his video for that reason. This can be done as a tag, just simply a tag, or it can be an entry into the competition. Why would you not want to enter the competition? Of course you would. You must be a subscriber of Geek Legion of Doom, if you can leave a comment with your answers, but if you do that, you must share the video, Leo's video, on social media like Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, as well as leaving your answers. And if you do the actual tag, let Leo know, and sure, share it anyway. So the more people we get to do this, the better, because it's very interesting. So I will leave the link to Leo's original video below, so you can watch that and get an idea, a notion of the rules of this. Very briefly, your top 10 all-time favourite movies that are standalone. So they can't have sequels, they can't have remakes, they can't have reboots. TV shows, games are allowed, but they can't be remade or sequel or anything like that. So this is harder than it looks, guys. So many of mine have sequels or have remakes, so I had to leave a few of my favourites out. So let me go down the list for you, and we will start at number 10 with Braveheart. I love this movie. I know it's not historically completely accurate. I am aware of this. I just love how it's filmed. I love the character of William Wallace. The wedding scene in this is my favourite wedding scene of any movie ever. I just think it's perfection. If you're going to get married, that's how you would like to do it. It's just, I love it, and it's one of the movies that when I went to see provoked a very rare reaction from the cinema viewers in Northern Ireland. We're quite a sombre bunch. We don't tend to, in the UK and Ireland, people very rarely react to things they see on screen like they do in the US. And when the scene in Braveheart where the Irish turn mid-battle to take sides with Scotland, the cinema erupted, and it amused me. So it always makes me laugh when I think about that. Number 9 goes to a very recent entry in this list, and it goes to Bohemian Rhapsody. People may think that should be further up the list, given my love for Queen, but I've only seen it once. I have to see it a number of times. I did love it. Rami Malek's portrayal of Freddie Mercury was incredible. Again, I'm aware it's not completely factually accurate, in that the timeline is a bit skewed as to when certain things happened, but they happened. It's all there for you to see. It's incredible. So Bohemian Rhapsody at number 9. Number 8 goes to my favourite love story, my favourite romance story. It's Amy Foster. I think this is known as Swept from the Sea in America, and I just really big time related to the characters in this. It follows Amy Foster, played by Rachel Weisz. Very beautiful girl, very gothic looking, living on an living near the coast in England, and she's very much an outsider from her community. She isn't understood, and there is a ship that wrecks against the coast, and it contains a Russian guy by the name of Yankov. The entire ship is killed apart from him. He was on his way to America to try and make his fortune from Russia, and they meet and they fall in love, and it's just, the story is incredible. I love it. Maybe other people wouldn't so much, but it hit me in the feels big time. Just a couple of scenes in it, and no matter how many times I watch it, I cry. I love Yanko's just a perfect man to me. He is the perfect man, and she is as close to the perfect woman as you're ever going to get. It's just hits me right in the feels. And the cast of it, Vincent Perez plays Yankov. He actually was in The Crow 2, I believe. Rachel Weisz plays Amy Foster. We've got Kathy Bates is in this. Ian McKellen is in it. It's brilliant, guys. Watch it if you want to watch a really nice love story. Number 7 is Cinema Paradiso. This is one a lot of people don't know about, and it's amazing. It's a foreign movie. I actually will include 6 and talk about these at the same time. My number 6 is Life is Beautiful, which is also a foreign movie. These are both set very much along wartime, although they're not strictly about the war. Cinema Paradiso follows a relationship between an old cantankerous projectionist in a little town and a young boy that befriends him and teaches him his trade of being a cinema projectionist. There's a lot more to it, there's a lot going on. There's a lot to do with people, to do with how people manage adversity, to do with switching back and forth between when a person's old and young and stuff, and I don't want to tell you much about it. Watch Cinema Paradiso, you will not be disappointed, it's incredible. Life is Beautiful follows a man who tries to get his young son through the war without actually having his son realise that they're at war. So he turns a lot of what happens into a game for his son. And it's heartbreaking, but it is a beautiful film. They end up in a prisoner of war camp and he's trying to protect his son from everything that's going on. It's just an incredibly powerful film. Let me give a special mention when I say this to one that I didn't put in, which is Boy in the Striped Pyjamas. That's also a very powerful, amazing movie. Check that out as well. Next, at number 5 is Shawshank Redemption. Who doesn't like that movie? And if you don't like it, there's something wrong with you. It's brilliant. It's just the narration in that. People know how much I love narration. Morgan Freeman, could you have anyone better narrating your movie for you? And I love how they used Morgan Freeman. Red should have been a red-haired Irishman. That's who the intention was. But Morgan Freeman got the role, and thank God. But they kept the name Red, and that I just love that. So they kept that original character name, even though it's nothing to do with Morgan Freeman. Number 4 goes to The Shining. People might think that should be higher on my list. I love this movie. This is one of the very few situations where I prefer the movie to the book. There are aspects of the book I preferred, but there are more aspects of the movie that I preferred, so that goes in at number 4. Number 3, people's going to think I've got a fixation with wartime movies, is The Pianist, starring Adrian Brody. Everyone knows my viewpoints on Adrian Brody, but as well as being just a babe, he is an amazing, fantastic actor. He very much believes in getting into proper character for his roles. He did an awful lot of research for this. He lost a ridiculous, stupid amount of weight for this. He looks very gaunt and unwell in this movie. And he plays a pianist during wartime that manages to bridge the gap between himself, he's a Jew, and one of the Nazi officers. And it's just a beautifully moving film about people's character, about getting beneath the surface of what you are or what your label is to the actual bones of being a person. It's just wonderfully acted. The script is fantastic. It pains me that Roman Polanski's responsible for it. I know people say his personal life's got nothing to do with his movies, but it pains me that he's responsible for one of my favourite movies. So The Pianist comes in at number 3. Number 2 is Pan's Labyrinth. This isn't... I know this comes very closely hand in hand with Kronos and Devil's Backbone, but they're not connected. So I'm hoping I'm allowed this one. Pan's Labyrinth, Guillermo del Toro, which is one of my favourite directors. Everything he does is just beautiful. He has an ability to craft an adult fairy tale. That's how I feel about this one. It's like watching a fairy tale for adults, a dark, gothic fairy tale. The cinematography is beautiful. The creatures in this are amazing. The Pale Man freaked me the hell out the first time I saw him. Still does when I watch it. It's just, and the language, the Spanish language, anyone that knows me well enough will know Spanish is my favourite language. I love how it sounds. I just could sit and listen to people speak Spanish for hours and hours, and this movie is just a joy. It's a joy to look at, it's a joy to listen to. So number 2, Pan's Labyrinth. Number 1 goes to Misery. That won't be any surprise for a lot of people. This movie, for some reason, just speaks to me in a big way. Kathy Bates is just the bomb in this. Obviously, James Caan is fantastic, as well as Paul Sheldon. For anyone that's been living under a rock, Misery follows a fan saving her favourite author, a number 1 fan saving her favourite author who has befallen a nasty accident. She nurses him back to health in her home, but underneath all that sort of caring bravado, there's a bit of a sinister edge to her, and she puts that author through absolute hell. And literally holds him captive, and he is powerless to do anything because he's so badly injured, and she perhaps injures him even worse in that most famous scene. But just the acting in this, the pure and utter, in the scenes where Paul gets out of bed and goes into the room and is rummaging through Annie Wilkes' stuff. I feel that pure panic that she's coming back, that she's going to catch him, and my heart's beating and I'm, oh, get into the room. I know what happens, but every time I watch it I feel that panic that she's coming, and if a movie can make me feel that intensity, then it must be good. The lines, there's so many lines about her little ceramic penguin when she looks out the window and says the rain, sometimes it gives me the blues. It just sends shivers down my spine. I love it. I love her character. I love the interchangeability of her persona from one minute to the next. She's just a Fruit Loop. I just love it. James Caan is amazing. I would say personally, although the movie's about James Caan, he plays a supporting role in this. In my opinion, the show belongs to Kathy Bates. She's always been one of my favourite actresses, so yeah, Misery comes in at number 1. So, correct me below if I've put anything in that has a remake or a sequel. I could be wrong. I didn't Google them. I just went with what I knew, which maybe isn't the best idea. But yeah, that's my top 10 standalone favourite films, which I don't know if I left out anything. I maybe did, I maybe didn't, who knows. But if you want to do this, go ahead. I was actually tagged by Aaron from Screen Stars. I had done it before he tagged me, then I deleted it, so I'm doing it again. I would like to see a lot of people do this because people know I have an interest in all movies outside of horror, and it would be nice to see some of my horror buddies doing their top 10 all-time favourite movie list, not horror, to see how many movies we've got in there that aren't horror. So I am going to tag some people. You've got until, I believe, the 15th of January to do this, and if you stay on there, if you're wanting to enter the competition or you're just doing it to do a tag. He's not actually bought the competition prize as yet. He's a couple of little bits, he said, but he wants to custom the prize to the individual that wins so that they get something they really want. So that's really kind of him. So show him some support and get the tag done. Share about for him, get it on social media so we can get as many people to do this as possible. I am going to tag Jason from Horrific Nightmares. I'm going to tag Sean from the Horror Corner, Sean Patrick Erschen from the Horror Corner. I am going to tag, I don't want to tag people that, right, if I tag you and you don't have time and you don't want to do it, don't do it. I'm going to tag Dave Maggot. I'm going to tag, there's a lot of people I want to that don't do tags. I'm going to tag Chris and Victoria just in case they want to do it. I will tag Jen's Reviews from the Grave. I will tag, my mind's just whirring here at the moment, I will tag HorrorFan34. Right, I could tag more people. I'm going to leave it at that, even though there are some names creeping in. I want to leave some people there for you guys to tag also. So I'd be really interested to hear your guys' answers. It does intrigue me to know what you like outside of horror, or maybe your top 10 list is all horror, whatever that may be. I'm really interested to know. Make sure you do state when you do the video that you want to be entered into the competition and get that shared and let Leo know that you've done it. I will have left his details below in the description. And lastly, a massive congratulations to Geek Legion of Doom for achieving this completely massive amount of subscribers, and I myself am very proud to be, as Aaron said, a tiny part of that and able to do reviews for Leo. It's a lot of fun, and thanks a lot to him for allowing us to sort of speak to a wider audience. So yeah, get it done folks. Let me know when you've done it so I can go and have a nosy, and it's over and out from Lisa Lives.